Hi, welcome to Nick's Drum Lessons. One of the most common questions I get from students is, my hi-hat is broken and I don't know what to do. This is a very common thing. There's usually 3 problems with a hi-hat that goes wrong. And for a beginner, it's not the easiest thing in the world to figure out because the mechanics just go beyond kind of comprehension sometimes. So I'm going to explain it. But first I'll show you the 3 most common hi-hat stands. Alright, you have the most common one nowadays, which is the 2-legged stand. And this requires 2 legs, and that the rock plate, the part that's underneath the plate, is pretty much stiff, so it acts as the 3rd leg. The advantage with a 2-leg is that you can get a double pedal near it, as well as you can get auxiliary pedals, and the 3rd leg is not in the way, and it will be in the way, quite literally. So you have the 2-legged one, and that's a Pro Eliminator. The other common one is a flat bass hi-hat stand. This is really good because they're usually lightweight. The disadvantages of them is, again, if you have a double pedal or an auxiliary pedal, these 2 legs are in the way. So they don't swivel, they don't go anywhere. But the advantage is they're super lightweight. So if you're a gigging drummer, super lightweight and functional, okay? If you're a metalhead, don't go for it, okay? You'll eat right through it with force, okay? And then the most, I'd say, common model that you find with beginner sets is this typical 3-legged stand. You can still get a double pedal. You cannot get 2 pedals side by side on the main, beside the main hi-hat footboard. All right. The other advantage of this is it swivels. All right, so that if you did have a double pedal, you can get it clearly on this side. The disadvantage is you can't really get anything at this point now. So the swivel 3-leg, and that's just an older Gibraltar that I have. All right. So let's talk about what goes wrong with hi-hats, okay? Typically hi-hats should have about an inch space there so that your foot can work the hi-hat as it should be. The most common thing is that the clutch, which is what holds holds the top hat, and there's usually a bottom hat and a top hat. The bottom hat is usually the heavier of the 2. So if you're not sure, you can literally just weigh it, or just kind of do a tester. Hold one and hold the other. You can usually tell which one's the heaviest, and that will be the bottom. So what goes wrong with the clutch is the bottom nut unscrews in time, and then all of a sudden you just have all these pieces, and then the hi-hat will not function because the clutch is not holding on to the top hi-hat. So there's, to a clutch, usually a top lock nut and a bottom lock nut, and they screw against each other. Let's make the jokes aside. That will hold it still, whereas the felt goes next. Your top hat, your other felt, so think of your cymbal as the meat and the felt is the 2 buns. All right, there's a hamburger reference of the day. And then your bottom lock nut. And that should tighten all the way down, okay? So I can't go any further with that. That's pretty tight. How far up do you want this? Well, you want enough so that it flexes a little bit. Remember, cymbals only break when you tighten those down so much that when you hit the cymbal, the only option as far as flex goes is to break. So again, any cymbal should have quite a bit of flex. Not too much, but enough to where it breathes when you hit it. All right, so that's problem number 1. Make sure that is in that order, okay? So, second most common is that the clutches just come loose. I can't move my hi-hat, it's not going anywhere. However, the pull rod is moving, the hi-hat's doing nothing. Well, you've got to just make sure that your clutch is about 1 inch to 3/4 of an inch from the bottom. Now it's functioning. The other most common factor that goes wrong with hi-hats for a beginner is through time with pressing down on the footboard, the pull rod, which is in 2 sections. There's a top part and then a bottom part, and it connects right there. You'll see some thread and some the nut, and that has come loose. So in time, the hi-hat will kind of go in circular motions as you're playing, and all of a sudden unscrew this. Well, there's nowhere for it to go. So, hey, my clutch is what it's doing. It's working where it should be. It's not loose. Well, chances are it came loose here or through here, and there's a similar thread, and there's the nut that goes from the chain to the footboard, okay? So it will come loose in one spot or the other. So you just screw that back in, no biggie here. Voila. Now it's functioning. You get that top post back on. That top post usually has a memory lock, and the advantage there is that there was the height I was at. Tighten that up, that wing bolt, or actually wing nut. There's your, what they call hi-hat cup and a hi-hat washer, usually at the same diameter. Bottom hat, because that's the heaviest of the two, and your top hat that has the clutch. There it is where the clutch is not tight. There it is where it is tight. Alright, those are the most common things that go wrong with hi-hat stands. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to contact me through nicksdrumlessons.com, and I can go through it again in some different models. But those are the 3 most basic designs. The 3-leg that swivels, the flat base that doesn't, but super lightweight, and then the 2-legged one. Alright, if you have any questions, let me know. Hope you enjoyed, hope you learned some things. And until next time, next video, next lesson, see you next time.